Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sleep Lecture channel. Tonight we're tackling a sound that's probably familiar to many of you, a sound that can jolt you right out of a deep slumber. The creaky floor. You know the one. Maybe it's your own footsteps on a midnight trip to the kitchen, or your partner getting up for work, or even just the house settling. That sudden, sharp creak can feel like an alarm bell in the dead of night. So, why do floors creak? And more importantly, what can we do to stop this nightly noise from wrecking our precious sleep? First, let's get into the why. What's actually happening when a floorboard creaks? Most of the time, it's all about wood, moisture, and movement. Your house is made of materials that expand and contract with changes in temperature and humidity. Wood is especially sensitive to this. During humid summer months, wood swells. In the dry winter air, it shrinks. This constant, subtle movement can loosen the nails or screws holding your floorboards to the joists underneath. When you step on a loose board, it rubs against a neighboring board or the nail itself, and voila, you get that classic annoying creak. It's basically a friction sound. Another common culprit is the subfloor. That's the layer of material, usually plywood or OSB, that sits between your floor joists and your visible flooring. If the subfloor isn't securely fastened to the joists, it can move up and down when you walk on it, creating a symphony of groans and squeaks. The same goes for the connection between your beautiful hardwood planks and the subfloor. If the adhesive has failed or the nails are loose, you're going to get noise. It's like a tiny, unintended percussion instrument right under your feet. And let's be honest, it's an instrument nobody wants to hear at 3 in the morning. Now, why is this such a big deal for sleep? Our brains are wired to respond to sudden, unexpected noises, especially when we're asleep. It's a primal survival instinct. Think back to our ancestors. A sudden snapping twig could mean a predator was nearby. While we're not fending off saber-toothed tigers in our hallways anymore, our brains haven't quite gotten the memo. That creak is an auditory signal that your brain interprets as a potential threat or something that needs your attention. And this can trigger a stress response, increasing your heart rate and pulling you out of the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep, like REM sleep. Even if you don't fully wake up, these microarousals can leave you feeling tired and unrefreshed in the morning. Your sleep quality plummets, even if the quantity seems okay. So the big question is, what can we do about it? Let's talk solutions, from quick fixes to more permanent repairs. First up, the simple stuff. Sometimes a creak is caused by friction between two floorboards. A surprisingly effective and simple trick is to use talcum powder or graphite powder, or just sprinkle a generous amount into the seams between the noisy boards. Then walk on the area or use a cloth to work the powder down into the cracks. The powder acts as a dry lubricant, reducing the friction and silencing the squeak. It's not always a permanent fix, and you might have to reapply it every few months, but for a quick and easy solution, it's fantastic. If the powder trick doesn't work, the problem might be a larger gap between the boards or between the floor and the subfloor. For small gaps, you can use wood shims. These are very thin, wedge-shaped pieces of wood. You can gently tap a shim, along with some wood glue, into the gap. The key here is to be gentle. If you force it in too hard, you could actually lift the floorboard and create a new problem. The goal is just to fill the space and stop the movement. This is a bit more involved, but it's a solid DIY repair for accessible creaks. Now, what if the noise is coming from below? If you have access to the floor from a basement or a crawl space, you're in luck. This is often the most effective place to tackle creaks. First, have someone walk around on the floor above while you're underneath with a flashlight. Pinpoint exactly where the squeak is coming from. Often you'll see a small gap between the subfloor and the floor joist. One great solution is a product called a squeak ender or a similar bracket. It's basically a small metal bracket that you screw to the joist and then tighten up against the subfloor, pulling them together and eliminating the gap and the movement. It's a very secure and permanent fix. Another method from below is to use a short block of wood. Cut a piece of a 2x4 or similar lumber to fit snugly between the joists, right under the squeaky spot. Apply a line of construction adhesive to the top of the block, then press it firmly up against the subfloor. Use screws to secure the block to the joist on either side. The adhesive fills the gap and the block provides solid support, stopping the floor from moving. But what if you can't get underneath the floor? Say you live in an apartment, or the creak is on the second story. Don't worry, there are still options. There are specialized kits that let you fix squeaks from above. These kits usually come with a special depth control jig and breakaway screws. You use the jig to drive a screw down through your carpet or hardwood, through the subfloor, and into a joist. The special screw is designed so that the head snaps off just below the surface of the floor, leaving an almost invisible hole. This pulls the flooring, subfloor, and joist tightly together. You might need to use a stud finder to locate the joist first, but this method can be incredibly effective for stopping those stubborn, inaccessible squeaks. Beyond these direct repairs, managing your home's environment can also make a difference. Remember how we talked about humidity? Keeping the humidity level in your home consistent can prevent the wood from swelling and shrinking so dramatically. Using a humidifier in the dry winter months and a dehumidifier in the humid summer months can help stabilize the wood in your floors. A good target is to maintain a relative humidity between 35 and 55%. It won't fix existing loose boards, but it can certainly prevent new creaks from developing and make existing ones less severe. Finally, let's talk about sound masking. Sometimes a full repair just isn't feasible, or maybe you're a renter and can't make permanent changes. In these cases, you can fight sound with sound. A white noise machine, a fan, or even an app on your phone can create a constant, soothing background noise. This sound blanket raises the ambient noise floor in your room, making sudden sounds like a creak less jarring and less likely to wake you. It doesn't fix the creak, but it makes your brain less likely to notice it, which is the next best thing for protecting your sleep. So, to recap, creaky floors are usually caused by movement and friction in your flooring system, often due to changes in humidity. These sudden noises can disrupt your sleep architecture and leave you feeling tired. You can try simple fixes like talcum powder, use shims for small gaps, or go for more robust repairs from below with brackets or blocks if you have access. If you can only work from above, look for specialized breakaway screw kits. And don't forget the power of prevention by controlling your home's humidity and using sound masking tools like a white noise machine to help you sleep through the night. A quiet home is a peaceful home, and a peaceful home is key to a great night's sleep. Don't let a few noisy floorboards rob you of the rest you deserve. Try some of these tips, and you might just find yourself sleeping more soundly than ever before. Thanks for tuning into the Sleep Lecture. I hope this helps you silence those nighttime noises and get back to dreaming. Until next time, sleep well. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tips on achieving the perfect night's rest.